Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. HarlequinCoHO here, and it is time for the HarlequinCoHO Invitational Tournament. Now, last month I asked you all to vote on your favorite players. The top 8 were chosen, and now we get to see them all battle it out. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce you to each one of the players, and then we're going to take a look at the brackets. Now, just in case you forgot, I went ahead and put up $250 of prize money to be split across first, second, and third place, just to kind of make things interesting. But also along the way, I went ahead and picked up another sponsor, ZenMagnets.com, who will be giving free Zen Magnets to the top 4 players as well. And I'd just like to take a side note here to talk about ZenMagnets.com a little bit. I met these guys early on casting StarCraft 2 for Reddit.com. And, you know, I'm from North America, and it seems like sometimes we're a little bit behind the times compared to the rest of the world in terms of our acknowledgement and following of esports. So when I meet a small company like Zen Magnets that just unhesitatingly says, Company of Heroes Online Tournament, sure, we'll support you. I think that's awesome. So if you guys enjoy these replays, please feel free to stop by ZenMagnets.com, thank them for their support, and check out what they have to offer. Zen Magnets are these cool little geometric magnetic balls, and you can just kind of put them together and make all sorts of crazy shapes. And you know me, I'm kind of a math geek, so I think that's really cool. They come in a pretty tasteful little box, and even Gustav made himself a nice-looking necklace out of them. So, first up on our list, we have 22-year-old Robert Taylor. He is currently number 6 on the Airborne Commander ladder. You know him better as Air Taylor, though, and whenever he has to play as Axis, he will be playing as Taste My Flare, his Blitzkrieg commander. And it looks like Robert Taylor is currently studying physics at Oxford University. All right, a physics dude. I like that. Next up, we have a Mr. Philippe Savoie, but you know him better as ProPipe. ProPipe is currently number 5 on the Airborne Commander ladder, and when he has to play as Axis, he will be playing as ProPipe Blitz. Now, Philippe Savoie is currently a software engineering student at the University of Ottawa. Mr. Daniel Carver, currently ranked number 2 on the Armor Commander 1 vs. 1 ladder. You know him better as Automed. His commander is Automed 3. Armor Commander, but when he has to play as Axis, he will be playing as Automed 2, his Blitzkrieg commander. Now, Daniel Carver is ex-U.S. military airborne. I think that's pretty awesome, and currently resides in Riverside, California. And the 4th of our predominantly allied players is currently ranked number 1 on the Armor Commander 1 vs. 1 tree. I, of course, am talking about AFK Ninja. AFK Ninja, his Armor Commander, and when he has to play as Axis, he will be playing as AFK X Ninja, his Blitzkrieg commander. AFK Ninja is from Christchurch, New Zealand, and he began playing Company of Heroes shortly after Tales of Valor came out because he could beat his brother at it. Now, first up for our predominantly Axis players, we have Mr. Ryan Nystrom, who is currently ranked number 5 on the 1 vs. 1 Terror Commander ladder. And if you haven't guessed it yet, I am, of course, talking about Nystrom, the Terror Commander. When he has to play as allies, he will be playing as Nystrom Inf, his infantry commander. And I just thought that was kind of cool that his last name is actually his commander's name. He is currently from the Chicago area. Next up for the Axis, we have Mr. Ryan Taylor, who is currently ranked 8th in the 1 vs. 1 Terror Commander ladder. You know him better as Inverse, however. Inverse is Terror Commander, and when he plays as allies, he also plays as Inverse, his Armor Commander. One of those has a lowercase L instead of an I think. It looks like Ryan Taylor is currently a second-year computer science student at the University of British Columbia, where he also plays varsity baseball. But of course, you probably know Inverse best from Inverse GR, his YouTube account, where he does lots of game commentaries and replay analysis and that sort of thing. I highly recommend you check it out. He's at the top of my channels list. Next up, we have Mr. Temo Veit, who is currently ranked 7th on the Defense Commander 1 vs. 1 tree. And you know him as Alphonse Rebane, his Defense Commander. When he has to play as allies, he will be playing as Crocius, his Airborne Commander. And some interesting facts here about Alphonse Rebane. He is currently ex-military for the Estonian Army. Looks like he had a tour of duty in Afghanistan. Way to go, dude. And he is currently learning to become a naval officer, specifically a first mate, wants someday to become a captain of his own ship. Awesome stuff there. And by the way, I asked each of the players to give me a little bit of background information, and Alphonse Rebane opted to tell me about his name and where that comes from. Alphonse Rebane is actually a real person. He was an officer in the Estonian Army during World War II, and he fought with the Germans, and he is one of 2 non-German gentlemen to receive the Knight's Cross with oak leaves. You guys know Knight's Cross holders from the game. He was a Knight's Cross holder. That's pretty cool. He did things like he called down artillery on his own position in order to take out the enemies. All sorts of hardcore stuff. Survived the war, died of old age. Really cool guy. So a little bit of fun World War II history facts for you there. And finally, our 4th Axis commander is Mr. Patrick Hagera. He is currently ranked 3 amongst Blitzkrieg 1 vs. 1 commanders, and you know him as Krypton. He will also be playing as Johnny Crypto, his infantry commander, when he has to play as allies. He comes all the way from the Czech Republic, by the way, and is currently a student. He has been playing Company of Heroes online since it came out. Now that you've all had a chance to meet the players and get a little bit of background information on them, it is time to take a look at the brackets, boop, and see who is going to be fighting whom. Now, it is important to note that all of the games in round 1 are a best of 3, with each player using their predominant faction first and then alternating to the opposite faction between games. For later games in the series, players with the most remaining victory points from earlier games will be able to choose their faction for the first game of that round, just to make it fair. So as you can see, round 1 consists of 8 players. That's going to be the round of 8. Round 2 will consist of 4 players. From there, we will go down to the 3rd place match, which will be a best of 5, and after that, we will have the finals up top, which will also be a best of 5. And now the players. First off, in the upper left, we are going to have AFK Ninja versus Alphonse Urbane. AFK Ninja will be playing as Armor first, then Blitzkrieg. Alphonse will be playing as Defense and then Air. Next, we have Automed versus Inverse. Automed will be starting as his Armor commander and then moving on to his Blitzkrieg commander, and Inverse will be starting as Terror, then moving on to Armor. Then third, it will be Air Taylor versus Krypton. Air Taylor will be playing as his Airborne commander, then switching to Blitzkrieg. Krypton will be playing his Blitzkrieg commander, then switching to Infantry. And fourth, in the lower right, we have ProPipe versus Nystrom. ProPipe will be beginning as his Airborne player, then swapping to Blitzkrieg. Nystrom will be beginning as his Terror commander, and then swapping to Infantry. I'm going to be casting these games non-stop and uploading them to you as fast as I can. As results come in, I will update these brackets, and as each round is completed, I will also host a zip file with all of the replay files, so those of you who are interested will be able to download any game you want and take a close look at them. So there we have it. Let the HarlequinCoHO Invitational Tournament begin. Now remember, I will be posting new video games daily, so be sure to tune in, or just follow me on Twitter for instantaneous updates. Also remember, if you do like these videos, be sure to drop by zenmagnets.com and at least just say hi and thank them for supporting the Coho community, because I think those guys are awesome. I'm HarlequinCoHO. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you soon.